video is really just kind of a chit chat, sharing my heart, sharing where I'm going with Charlotte Mason, why I chose Charlotte Mason, really just trying to show you why I choose what I choose and how my mind is working. Hello, welcome back. It's another video from Southwestern Living. I am Shalise, and I'm going to talk to you again about Charlotte Mason. When I made my first video, kind of beginning my series, if you will, I kind of had the confidence, confidence isn't the right word. I had the motivation and ambition to share my journey with others, especially since it seemed like there wasn't, good gracious, there wasn't a lot of content out there, and I just thought I would kind of share my journey in this field that's just opening for so many people. And there was a great response with it, and I tried to follow up on those videos, but I had less and less confidence in those videos, and I'm going to share a little bit why. When that video came up, suddenly I was seeing a lot more videos come up that maybe didn't put Charlotte Mason in their title, but their content was of Charlotte Mason. And I was listening to these mothers that just really got into it and were really inspired by it. And I just felt like, I have no idea what I'm talking about. And I had to, at my last video, I had to just set it aside because I was getting really angry with myself. I wasn't getting angry with anyone. I was getting angry with myself because I wanted it perfect. And that's kind of my big weakness, my one weakness. If things aren't perfect, then I don't like to do them. It's a growing season, a growing something that I'm going to have to live with. As I'm planning my children's school year out, and I'm really researching, and I'm just stressing, and I'm making all these notes, and my husband looks at me and he says, don't lose the heart of the matter with education. The point is that these children learn. And I kind of had to take a step back and look at the whole situation, because I was stressing out so much about making sure that I was doing everything right without buying a Charlotte Mason curriculum, by creating my own, by piecing together what I could so that it would fit our budget and that I wasn't going to be spending hundreds of dollars that we really did not have. And when he said that to me, it kind of made me think, I'm a pendulum. And when I started out homeschooling, I wanted everything by the book, very structured, because that's how I'm going to flow, that's how everything is going to work. And then I saw that our love of education wasn't there. We did not love learning, and I didn't want that, so I'm researching. And the other side of the pendulum was Charlotte Mason, which, is an atmosphere, discipline of life, and the heart of the child is at the matter. And I'm like, okay, this is the way we're going. And I swang all the way over here and started with Ambleside. I did start with Ambleside, and I was noticing within the first few weeks that as great as Ambleside is, it's great. It's laid out beautifully. Again, almost to the point of, because it was a week by week schedule rather than a day by day, it was almost too loose for me. That was the issue that I was having, so that I was like, okay, well, we didn't do this today, we'll push it off tomorrow. Okay, well, we didn't get to this today, we're going to push it off tomorrow. And so now I'm going back to, this where my pendulum's swinging again, and I'm trying to get everything, lined up and ducks in a row. And I had to just tell my husband, you know what, I'm just that, that metronome, tick-tock, tick-tock, until you can find the right rhythm that you need. And it kind of stopped me from looking at Charlotte Mason for a while, from really researching for a while, and then kind of really just thinking about how I wanted to make these videos. Do I really want to present the fact that I'm an expert and y'all need to listen to me? Or do I just want to share what I'm learning with others, and then you guys can, you know, separate the chaff from the wheat. Figure out, okay, well, what she shared here, this will fit perfectly with my family. I'm going to take this, but I think she's too loose here, and I think we need more structure, or vice versa. And I understand that because that's kind of where I'm going. I don't live on a farm. So a perfect life for me would be the Charlotte Mason atmosphere, where we're going out and we're working among all the farm animals, and we're learning about life through that, and we're going to our garden and we're just having this abundance of food, and we're learning all about where food comes from and cycles of life, and just all these things that I think are at the heart of the Charlotte Mason education. But that's not a full story. You can be, and I just read this recently, even in one of her books, you can be in the center of the city and still have that education atmosphere that Charlotte Mason was trying to present. And I know I sort of dealt with this, but I was really thinking about, okay, you know, what kind of video do I really want to put out? What do I want to tell myself if I go back and watch this video again? Because sometimes these YouTube videos, what they end up being is just a journal. It's a journal entry for us. And I don't know if anybody else does this, but I go back and I look at my old journal entries, and I just, you know, I'm either re-inspired, or I just kind of take that and learn from it. Like, okay, well, here's what I said, and here's what else I've learned from now, and this is what it needs to be, and I journal that. And that's kind of somewhat what the YouTube video world is. So going back to, you know, doing all this planning and having that conversation with my husband, I had to really think, you know, why am I choosing Charlotte Mason, and why am I claiming that I'm following her? And it's going to look differently from everyone, and I'm learning this, and I'm seeing the beauty of that, because that's home education right there. Charlotte Mason doesn't look the same for everybody, but if you go back to her principles, and she has 9, I think. I want to say 9. I could be wrong on this. If you're testing me on this, remember Charlotte Mason doesn't do quizzes, sort of ish. We're gonna say that. So I'm not gonna pass the quiz, basically. But she had her 9. I think it was 9. Like principles on what you're looking for when you're educating a child, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just base everything off of that, and we're gonna get to the heart. Okay, the heart is, my children need to know spelling. Okay, they're gonna be, later on in life, they're gonna have to write. If you notice a lot of the spelling today with even some of the teenagers when they're posting on Facebook and stuff, and you're just like, I think I know what you mean, but I'm not sure, and you kind of need to present that you know what you're speaking of. And especially when you're trying to get a job, you know, spelling is important. So, okay, there we go. Now, let's look at how we want to learn how to spell. Do we want it drilled? Do we want it, you know, why are we learning spelling, and how are we going to do this? Now, it goes back to educating the whole child. Charlotte Mason is a big book fan. Books give you ideas. Books give you not necessarily a talking down to, as you, a textbook says, here's the information, this is what you need to understand. Whereas a living book kind of gives you, this is how all this information is applied and used into life, and this is how this person used it. So using that, and I made all these book lists and book ideas, and they were really great. I tried to be careful not to use twaddle. That's going to be another video, you know, what is twaddle? I was trying very hard not to put a lot of twaddle in there. But like, for example, when you give your kids good healthy meals every single day, it's not going to harm them to have a piece of cake now and then. But we know that their diet cannot consist solely on cake and ice cream and Pop-Tarts and SpaghettiOs. Especially my kids, if they get wheat, that's really not healthy for them. But once in a while, it doesn't harm them, but it does some other children. So you kind of need to weigh yourself on that. But if I don't crochet or do something busy, I start yelling at my screen, "Shalise, keep your hands still, girl." So let me keep my hands busy. So in looking at the books, that was another thing that was frustrating my husband. He's like, there are too many books out there for you to try to put the best ones into the hands of our children. He's like, you need to step back. And shortly after he said that, I came across another section in Miss Mason's books that said, basically you want to give them the best quality of books. And that's kind of an ambiguous term because, well, what does that mean? Because what's best for some people, I think, is absolutely ridiculous. For example, everybody considers The Great Gatsby a great work of literature, and I think it's a piece of garbage. I don't like it. There's nothing about it that I like. That's an ambiguous term, is the best quality of books, because who really establishes that? And even still, even to the classics, there are, obviously if you have a book that's in every single book list out there, that might be worth pursuing, like Little House on the Prairie. But if it's, I'm trying to even think of some, well, okay, let's open a can of worms. Let's say it's Harry Potter, but those go against your family principles. But everybody says it's good quality literature, but it goes against your family principles, then you shouldn't do that. There are many ones out there. And there are some people that believe you should only give them the classics, the older is better mentality. The problem with that is there are a lot of newer good books. And we're in a society that you can't live in the past. You don't have to forget it. It's kind of like history repeats itself. But we're not in the past. We don't have gentlemen opening the doors and letting us step out of a carriage. We don't have uncles that take into us. There's children that go into foster homes. So you can't just assume that because it's a classic or that it's old that it's good. And that was a big issue I was having with creating our school this year was, okay, not putting too many books for them to read, not only giving them classics, but some newer ones too, but also not just giving them ones that I thought they could read, but I wanted one or two that would challenge them. So anyway, this video is really just kind of a chit chat, sharing my heart, sharing where I'm going with Charlotte Mason, why I chose Charlotte Mason, really just trying to show you why I choose what I choose and how my mind is working. And maybe you'll take this and be encouraged that the way you're planning isn't looking like everybody else's videos. It's kind of Pinterest, right? When we're going on there and we're looking for decorating ideas or whatever it is, the Pinterest perfect life, whatever it's called. And I've got children running through, so hopefully this will last 2 more minutes while I finish this up, because there's always 2 more minutes. When you're watching this video and you're trying to get an idea of how to implement Charlotte Mason, if I could just get you to take one thing away from this video, it would be that if you're looking for the Pinterest perfect Charlotte Mason homeschool routine lifestyle thoughts, whatever, it's going to have to come from just taking what she said and chewing what you need from it and spitting out the seeds. There are 6 volumes there, and that's a lot, and there's so many ideas out there of what it's going to look like. And I was trying so hard to make it look like all these people, whereas everybody's family is different, and trying to put together spaghetti and taco and chicken soup and all these different ideas into one pot, it's becoming an unrecognizable thing. Just taking one person's spaghetti, but my daughter doesn't like noodles, is not going to work either. You're going to have to adapt everything to your life, and that's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You just, if you get to the heart of the matter and you're trying to choose curriculum, you go to the heart, and what then that is, think of the child. What does your child need? Okay, does he need tests? Does he need that structure? Because I think some children do, and it's not bad if you don't, but you want to give him many ideas in that. Okay, so you have your testing, but you're also going to give him outside ideas. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but I'm trying to figure out a way to word that. Basically just so you have your test with spelling, for example, but then you can go outside into nature walk and do your observations and all of that without there being any tests, so that he also gets that idea. I don't want a child to think that life is made up of a bunch of tests, every situation being a test. And if our education is an atmosphere, a life, a discipline, then it all is in corporate. School and life, it's all, and the child, it's all incorporated into one heart. But anyway, like I said, I need to go. I hope this video is encouraging to somebody. I hope it's not too much all over the place. I have my notes, but I still end up getting sidetracked and discombobulated. But anyway, hear my heart in this. I hope this was encouraging to somebody, and I will see you in my next video. If you would like to see the other videos that I made in this, I will link the playlist on the side here for you. My faces pops up, and that just lets you subscribe so that you can see more videos when they come up. It's easier to find. And I welcome you to the family, and if you have any questions, just leave them down below, and I will answer them as quickly as I can. And so until next time, be well, have a great day, and bye.